All right, so I'm going to be explaining the 4 R's of S2C. So first we have replicability, reliability, responsibility, and researchability. And I'm going to be giving an example of how each one supports strong and ethical practice. So first, let's get into replicability. This means that S2C practices should be consistent across different practitioners, communication partners, and settings. A speller's ability to communicate should not depend on only one specific person. So, for example, if I use a consistent board position, standard prompting, predictable pacing, and give enough time for motor planning, another trained practitioner should be able to use those same practices with that speller. This helps the speller transfer their skills instead of becoming dependent on one's practitioner's training style. The second R is reliability. Reliability means making sure that the communication truly comes from the speller. This includes keeping the letterboard steady, calling every letter, avoiding leading, and respecting word boundaries. For example, during open-ended communication, I would keep the board steady, maintain a neutral expression, call every letter that the speller selects, and avoid pausing on letters that I think may come next. This helps reduce the possibility that my expectations or movements could influence what the speller communicates. Third, we have responsibility. Responsibility means recognizing that holding the board is a position of trust and staying within the appropriate role of the practitioner. We support communication access, regulation, and appropriate content, but we are not acting as the speller's therapist, interpreter, or decision maker. For example, if a speller becomes dysregulated, I can provide appropriate regulation support while still maintaining a structured session, professional boundaries, and appropriate cognitive expectations. I should not assume that the person is thinking or feeling based only on their output or the physical output. So the fourth R is researchability. Researchability means using consistent practices that can be documented, evaluated, and studied. When practitioners use very different methods or frequently change supports without tracking them, it becomes harder to collect meaningful data. For example, I can document what supports I used, what stage of progression the speller was working on, and what happened during the session. If practitioners consistently document their sessions and follow standardized practices, the information can be more accurately studied and evaluated. And basically, overall, these 4 R's, they work together. Replicability helps skills transfer across people and settings. Reliability protects the authenticity of the speller's communication. Responsibility keeps practitioners ethical and within their role. And researchability creates consistent practices that can be documented and studied. Together, all 4 support strong S2C practice. Thank you.